Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here today. It's been a minute since I recorded an episode after work, but I figured I'd do it today since I had a lot to say. It is 8:08 p.m. and of course I'm the last one to leave again. And for the past few weeks, this is the regular times because we're short-staffed and, so busy all the time. This morning I woke up late, so didn't get a chance to eat breakfast. So this is my breakfast right now. In the car, 3 boiled eggs. And I gotta say, it tastes better than ever. The boiled eggs never tasted this good before. And I come to realize that you don't really appreciate things until you really work hard for it. And today really humbled me. I was going to leave early, around 6:45. But then the client I did. I did, and we put on the chrome. If you do know, you would know what chrome is. It's like a shiny top coat that you put on a color. So we did that. But she didn't like it. But she didn't want to tell me. She didn't have the heart to tell me that she didn't like it. She wanted to change different color. Because she feel bad if I stay over and take it off and repaint it all over again. Because it's a long process. You grind off the color, you reshape it, you refile it, you shape it again to make it smooth, and then now you gotta reshape the shape. And then you paint, and it's a long process because when you take off the color, if you grind too hard, it grind the layer underneath it, like the overlay underneath it, whatever it is under. And then if I grind it too hard and then I put a dent in there or a hole, then that means I have to refill it, so it take even longer. So it's a very tedious process. And no one wants to do that. But then I could see it in her face. She didn't like the color. She didn't want to say it. And I've got to say, I get so good at reading people after working here for so long. You can tell when someone's liking the color or someone is pretending to like the color. So I asked her, "You really like the color?" I asked her to be honest with me, and she say it really different than what she wanted. So I told her, I don't mind changing it at all. I don't mind staying over to change. I mean, of course, there's like a lot of people still working and staying over and work, but she just feel bad. So we went and we changed the color, and everyone would walk by, everyone would come up and talk crap and saying things and laugh and like making fun of me because why am I being so silly? Like I'm wasting my time doing this. And then some asking me, am I gonna charge her or stuff like that? It just make me feel like sometimes people just so selfish, and well, maybe I'm just an idiot, just like how they say, just how like they were saying, maybe I'm being too naive or too easy, but it's just me, if I do a bad job on someone or doing something that they don't really like, It's keep me up at night. It really kept me up at night, and I could not sleep. And now it feels good. Even though I'm the last one left the shop again. Well, after the owner, the manager. But it just, sometimes it just feel like it's not always about the money, you know? It's not always just about the money, but the work that you do and the impact you make, how you make people feel. And working here, I've realized that I like it much more than sitting behind a computer and typing codes all day. Even though lately things hasn't gone the way I want it to be, and it makes these days feels even heavier because you don't know where your life's gonna end up. Are you just gonna stay stuck here doing this thing, staying at this salon? I don't know, I don't really know. But sometimes the uncertainty feels kind of adventurous, if you really think about it. You have it all figured out. Your life now is just sunshine and rainbow. Would it be still worth trying, worth living? I don't know. But have you ever heard of the game GTA 5? If you play it, you would know. It's just like real life. You started it with nothing, and then you make money, and then you start buying things, and then you keep on making money, and you buy things. And at first, when you have nothing, when you have this broke-ass car and live in a shitty apartment, what did I want it? I was playing the character, and what did I want? I want a better car, better clothes, better guns, and better, just bigger possessions, bigger house, nicer car, and nicer things to do that come with money. And it was fun. It was fun when you grind towards it, and then you buy all these things. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I have to say it was fun. Until you get towards the very end. There's no end to it. But it's gotten to the point where you make enough money. You generate so much money that now you can buy all the yacht. All those giant boats, all the helicopter, all the exotics car. You buy all the mansions, all the expensive apartment, all these companies. You buy everything. You buy every single things that are available in the game. And at that point, you have all this money. You have all these million of dollar in the game. That when you first started, when you had nothing, you wish you had all these money so you can get all these things. But now you got all these things, and you don't really feel like happy anymore. You don't feel that sense of completion that you were wished for when you first started. And I feel like that video game kind of relate to just this life that we're doing, just like video game, trying to accomplish things, trying to get the next things. But then when you get to the end, when you have it all, you feel so empty. Because you always tell yourself, once you get all those things, you feels good. You have to grind up. You have to keep on grinding. And then once you can buy that exotic car, that expensive mansion, that helicopter, once you got them, you will feel happy. You will finally enjoy that happiness. But guess what? You did find the happiness. But it didn't last that long, didn't it? It didn't last very long, didn't it? Really think about it. Did it last very long? I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to chase the next things. Trying to make it. Trying to make it work. And now nothing seemed to be working. Things seem to be falling apart. Crumbling. Right in front of me. I feel like I'm failing. It just sucks, you know? But what if this is the good part? The grind. Because back when I was playing that game, now I'm remembering it. The most fun part was the beginning. And it wasn't when I had all the money or things seemed to be going the way I wanted. But it was when I was struggling, was trying to do missions and grinding from the start. It was frustrating, it was hard. But it was the funnest part, the most fun part of the game. But in that moment, I didn't think it was fun. I thought once I got the expensive car, the expensive house, then I'll have real fun. But now I'm looking back. It was when I did have zero. I did not have anything. It was back then that I had the most fun. But I didn't realize it during it. And just like now, here I am. Living the best part of my life, trying to grind, trying to get back on my knees, trying to do things again, trying to do things differently, trying to break the bad habits, trying to find myself, trying to rediscover myself over and over again. And it feels like I'm failing. Every day I feel like I'm failing. And then I tell myself I will find that happiness once I solve these problems that I have. I will finally feel a sense of completion once I find a new job, once I make a lot of money, once I find me a girlfriend, once I can finally travel and take a break. I tell myself these things and making it seem like I cannot be happy now. I cannot be content with what I have because all I could focus on is the things I don't have. I keep on thinking about the things I don't have. And that's a problem. That really is the problem. I cannot help myself but to focus on the things that's all gone. Focus on the mistakes, the bad choices, but never really pay attention to what I have now, or the things that went right. It's just, and even when I talk to clients, these girls that are graduating college and stuff, they have all these pressure that they have to get into a certain point in life, and trying to meet other people's expectation. Sorry, I'm being dramatic again. But I just wanted to make this episode to remind myself and you too, if you're going through, things in your life and you feel like giving up. You feel like you're behind. You're not where you're supposed to be. But what if you are? What if you are right where you're supposed to be, even though you feels like life could have been better if things happened the other way around, or life could have been so much better if you did things differently. But what if it was all meant to be? What if every single bad things, good things, every single thing that happened to you was meant to be? Would you still be sitting here and bitching about it? I don't know. It's a hard pill to swallow. But I guess we live and we learn. We live and we learn. We make mistakes and we learn. And know that certain things from the past we cannot change, and we cannot let these things ruin the moment right now and what yet to come, right? Cannot keep letting the past decide in your future, right? But I say all these things and I go home and I do the same things. I go to work, I do the same things. Doing the same shit over and over and over again. And maybe one day I'll fail. I'll fuck myself up hard enough until then, the pain is enough. It's painful enough for me to change. Maybe that day will come. I hope that day will come. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope I'll see you on the next one.